Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another video for you guys. Today, guys, I want to talk about, as you can tell, the Arrowverse. I want to talk about my feelings I'm starting to have in terms of me losing interest as a whole in the Arrowverse, where certain shows I used to be really excited for, or I used to look forward to each week watching, and now to where I don't watch them at all. I haven't caught up in quite some time, and to where shows I am still watching, I'm either loving a lot, or I'm starting to go, what's going on here? Like The Flash. So let's talk, and I'm curious to know where you guys stand on this, because I've seen a lot of you guys comment over the years on the different shows that I would watch and discuss and live streams and stuff, and you guys have different opinions, so I'm really curious where you stand right now with the Arrowverse. So, before I get to where I am right now, I want to quickly set up the journey real quick of how I discovered the Arrowverse and everything. It was after Season 3 of Arrow had ended, and Flash Season 1 had ended, airing on the CW. And I started watching Arrow Season 1 and Season 2 on Netflix. Decided one day, because I kept seeing pop up as a recommendation, okay, I'll check it out. I was blown away by Season 1 and Season 2 of Arrow. Blown away. Then I watched Season 3 of Arrow, Season 1 of Flash, and then at that point, I started watching live. And then as we've continued on, we had Supergirl on CBS, first season, then moved over to CW, and then checked out the first 2 episodes, or actually, I eventually watched the first whole season of Black Lightning. Of course, I watched Legends, watched Constantine, even though that show is connected to the Arrowverse, but at the time it wasn't. Supergirl wasn't either until eventually Flash, of course, popped up and everything. And now we've gotten to the point now where we have what we have now in terms of the current lineup. And that, of course, includes Stargirl, who's on Earth 2, who has no connection as of yet to the Arrowverse, but she is in the Arrowverse due to her brief cameo along with the rest of the JSA, the current JSA, in Crisis Part 5. Of course, we have Batwoman Season 2, now going on to Season 3. They're currently filming right now. Stargirl is about to start airing very soon. Superman and Lois, we have that amazing show going on. We have The Flash that just ended Season 7, where there's a lot of people talking how they felt that is the worst season of the show. And I can't fault them because it was a messy season, but some of the things you can't fault the show on because it's all due to the pandemic, and there were certain things they could not do, certain things they had to do in terms of wrapping up Season 6 storyline, all that kind of stuff. But, like, here's where I stand. And also, well, yeah, Supergirl with its final season. Here's where I stand. I still have hope for The Flash, but I don't know. They have to do a lot, in my opinion, to really gain me back in terms of being a full-on 100% in support of the show, because I had a rant during the Cecile-centric episode they had. Not Cecile, the Allegra-centric episode. Yeah, the Allegra-centric episode. And I just feel like they could have done stuff a whole lot better in terms of how they because they could have handled the season better. There's certain things I can't fault them for, things that could have easily done better. It's so crazy to think that, because it's like The Flash was not handling all of this very well when they could have found a way to make it work, at least better. Superman and Lois is crushing it. Stargirl's first season was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I'm really excited for Season 2. It looks great. It looks promising. Batwoman Season 2, I haven't seen past Episode 4 of Season 2. Supergirl Season 6, the final season, which is apparently going to start airing soon to wrap up its final season. I think they have wrapped shooting on the final season officially, or they're pretty close. I haven't seen past the Season 6 premiere of Supergirl. And I don't know why that is. I used to really love Supergirl, and I was enjoying somewhat, Season 2 with Ryan Wilder. I hear that it's gotten better, but I just don't have that incentive. I just don't have that urge to I have to watch it, because Batwoman Season 2 is on HBO Max right now. I could easily start watching it, but I haven't, and I don't know why. I don't know why I don't have this sudden urge to watch it, because I would keep up with these shows that I would watch. I would keep up. I was keeping up with Batwoman, and I just stopped. Supergirl, I could easily have kept up with it, but I didn't. I don't know why. I think it's because of the fact that I'm just losing my interest in certain aspects of the Arrowverse and losing certain things to where I don't feel like I should keep up with it. Or maybe it's like, is it worth keeping up with it? Like, am I losing anything by not keeping up with this? Because I was hearing some great things about Batwoman. Supergirl, I haven't really heard a lot. There hasn't a lot been people talking about the show, besides hardcore fans and certain shippers of said show, Supergirl. But I haven't heard really much anybody talking about Supergirl. The talk has been Superman and Lois in terms of its quality, in terms of its storytelling, in terms of how they're handling character and all that kind of stuff. And then the Flash in terms of people making fun of it. And I don't know if the Arrowverse will ever get... I think the Arrowverse is... I'm not going to say their days are numbered. I think the Arrowverse's peak has already hit, and it's now going to be a situation to where how much longer can the Arrowverse last? How much longer can it go? Because the way things are right now, Superman and Lois is crushing it. And if it continues that way into season 2 and continues that momentum, that is a shining star. That is the hope that maybe the Arrowverse can turn things around if this show is proving it can work. But it's got a higher budget and less episodes, which is benefiting it quite a bit. The less episodes as well, because I think a big thing that people started to really dislike is these 21, 22, 23 episode seasons. At first, like Arrow and Flash, they were crushing it. But then it got to the point where they weren't able to figure out or know how to handle the stories properly. And so it got to the point where we were getting a lot more filler. And even when we were getting to big moments in the show, it just wasn't as impactful because we had other things going on that really muddied and really messed up the storylines because they weren't handling them properly. Like, go back and think on Arrow season 1 and season 2, Flash season 1 and season 2. Think on how they structured those seasons and how they structured the storylines and everything they were doing. It was so good. It was so good. And Superman and Lois is showing that again, but with less episodes and a higher budget than those shows. I think Superman and Lois has a higher budget than they did back then. But they all at the time were figuring it out. Superman and Lois is figuring it out right now as Arrow and Flash did. But see, the difference is that Arrow and Flash were the beginning of the Arrowverse, and they were handling it with the budget they had, and they were managing 22, 23 episodes per season. Superman and Lois just had 13. They have now 15, but they have way less episodes to tell their story, and they're making it work beautifully, in my opinion. And a lot of people agree with that. Stargirl had 13 episodes for its first season. I believe it's going to be 13 episodes again for season 2, I think. And season 1, I think they handled pretty damn well in terms of how they handled the storyline of season 1. So the hope is that season 2 is going to carry that same thing. We'll see, though. But with Batwoman, its first season, it was kind of all over the place. Some decent episodes, some pretty solid episodes, but some episodes that, But season 2, I hear it's gotten better, but I just don't have that incentive to go, I have to continue this. Eventually I will, but I just don't really feel that major urge to jump on Batwoman or jump on Supergirl and continue watching where I left off. And I don't like that, but at the same time, that's how I just honestly feel about it. And I don't know what I can do to change that. I feel like it's just a thing to where I'm learning as I go on. There are certain shows that look, Flash could have easily lost me, and they may still lose me. They have to make up some stuff in season 8. They have to really prove themselves, in my opinion, because you're starting off with 5 episodes in season 8 of Flash, with 5 episodes dedicated to having guest stars and other people in the Arrowverse popping up. So we'll see. We'll see how they do it. We have other shows in the works in terms of Naomi, which is a multiverse type show, I believe. They've tried to do other shows. It didn't really work out in terms of Green Arrow and the Canaries, a show that realistically should have been picked up, but for some reason they decided to pass on it, and they waited almost a year to let us know about that. I don't know, because the question is now, what is, we know we have Naomi coming. That's a show that's coming. But what else is coming outside of that? Is there going to be a spinoff from The Flash? Is there going to be a spinoff from Superman and Lois? is Supergirl going to have a spinoff? The way it seems to me, Supergirl is not going to have a spinoff show, which I predicted that it would, but it sounds like it won't. So, is the Arrowverse destined to only have a few shows versus, because they used to have a lot more shows now. Arrow is ending, Supergirl is ending. You know, how much longer can the Flash go? Who knows? Black Lightning has ended its run. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of rumors and stuff about Batwoman season 3 being its last, but people speculate all the time about when shows in the Arrowverse are going to end. There's always speculation each year of when they're going to end, but who knows for sure when? But people like to talk. People like to speculate and ponder and think. But I don't know. I would hope that the Arrowverse can prove itself and continue. You know, I think the future might be HBO Max in terms of not Arrowverse, but in terms of DC content. Maybe the Arrowverse's days in terms of them being where people go to watch DC TV in terms of watching live action shows. DC Universe a couple years ago, of course, came out with like Swamp Thing, which canceled after episode 1. Titans season 1 and season 2. You had Doom Patrol over there. You had Stargirl first season, but that was a co-airing thing with CW. So maybe it's to where the Arrowverse will slowly wrap up in a couple of years, and the future of DC television will be on HBO Max. Maybe. We have Titan season 3 going over there. We have the next season of Doom Patrol, which was airing on HBO Max. We have the next season of Doom Patrol. Young Justice season 4 is coming soon. There's rumors of them doing spinoffs from Titans. We'll see how that goes. We have a Green Lantern show going on HBO Max. We have, of course, a Batgirl-led film that's going to be on HBO Max. There's going to be a Blue Beetle film on HBO Max. And there's that GCPD-centric episode television show based around Matt Reeves' Batman on HBO Max. Probably missing a couple other things, like maybe Satana or whatever. I think that was also in the works as well. I think a film on that. But yeah, and Justice League Dark stuff, all that Justice League Dark stuff that's apparently being talked about. There's a lot of things in the works. And of course, and Val Zod apparently just announced in terms of HBO Max, a limited series on HBO Max. There's a lot of things going on HBO Max in terms of DC content. So maybe the Arrowverse here is destined to end. It's not meant to continue as long as it will. I don't know. I think if Superman and Lois continues to be popular and people continue to talk about it, the show will continue no matter what. Same thing with any of the other shows. If they continue to get viewers, they're going to continue them. But I think at a certain point, the CW will no longer be the place to watch DC content. And I know there's a lot of people that do not like the Arrowverse stuff, don't like these shows and all that kind of stuff, and they would be happy for them to go away, and that's fine. But just for me, it's going to be a sad ending to an era of when these shows used to be great, and some are still are. Superman and Lois is killing it. But it's going to be crazy to think that. But I don't want to... I don't want to lose complete hope in the Arrowverse. Just because it's brought me a lot of great things, a lot of great moments in these shows, and some great crossovers, and some fun times. You know, to talk about these shows, to speculate, to wonder. It's been great. But yeah, so I hope that maybe my mind will change on how I feel about particular shows, maybe continuing the ones I stopped watching to kind of get back into what I'm missing. You know, maybe. But today's not that day. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Have you lost interest in the Arrowverse? Are you only watching particular shows? I know some of you guys are just watching reactions. You're not even watching the show. It's completely fine, I guess. But whatever thoughts you have about this topic, guys, I'm curious to know. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. And I'm curious to read your feedback. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.